It is truly a pleasure to have you here today as we dive into a message that has quite literally changed the lives of millions of people across the globe. You are about to embark on a journey that explores the very fabric of how your life is constructed. The purpose of this book is simple yet profound. It is designed to reveal a secret that has been known by some of the greatest minds in history, from poets to scientists, and to show you exactly how you can use it to create the life you have always dreamed of. As you listen, you will begin to understand that you are not just a passive observer in your own life. Instead, you are the most powerful creator in your own universe. We are going to explore a few high-level ideas that form the foundation of this teaching. First, we will look at the law of attraction, which is the idea that your thoughts hold a magnetic power and that you attract into your life whatever you focus on most. Second, we will discuss the specific three-step process of asking, believing, and receiving, which serves as your roadmap for manifesting your desires. Finally, we will touch upon the vital role that your feelings and gratitude play in aligning you with the things you want to achieve. Throughout this summary, we are focusing on the wisdom shared by Rhonda Byrne, who brought these ancient truths together to help people find health, wealth, and happiness. This isn't about luck or coincidence. It is about a universal law that is as consistent as the law of gravity. By the time we finish, you will see your thoughts and your potential in a completely new light. Before we dive into the core mechanics of how this works, if you find this information helpful and want to see more content like this, please feel free to like this recording, share it with someone who might need it, and subscribe to stay updated on future deep dives. Now, let's begin our exploration of the summary. Understanding and applying the law of attraction, the fundamental law of the universe. The first core point we must understand is the law of attraction itself. This is the cornerstone of the entire book. The concept is based on the idea that everything in the universe is made of energy, and energy vibrates at certain frequencies. Because your thoughts are also a form of energy, they have their own specific frequency. According to the book, like attracts like. This means that when you think a thought, you are sending a signal out into the universe, and that signal magnetically draws back to you things, people, and circumstances that vibrate at that same frequency. Think of yourself as a human transmission tower. You are constantly broadcasting the program of your life through your thoughts. If you want to change what you see on the screen of your life, you have to change the frequency of the thoughts you are sending out. This law works whether you are aware of it or not, and whether you want it to or not. It is always active, responding to the predominant thoughts you hold in your mind. The book explains that your life, right now, is a physical reflection of the thoughts you have been thinking in the past. This idea is important because it places the power of change directly in your hands. It suggests that you are not a victim of fate or bad luck. Instead, by consciously choosing your thoughts, you can begin to reshape your reality. For example, if a person spends most of their day thinking about their debts and how much they struggle with money, they are essentially focusing on lack. According to the law, the universe will respond by bringing them more circumstances that reflect that lack. On the flip side, if they shift their focus to the abundance they already have or the prosperity they desire, they change their frequency and begin to attract wealth. Now we move to the next point, which takes this fundamental understanding of attraction and turns it into a practical, actionable method for getting what you want. The creative process: ask, believe, and receive. Once you understand that your thoughts are magnetic, the next step is learning how to use that magnetism intentionally. The book outlines a specific three-step method called the creative process. The first step is to ask. This sounds simple, but it requires clarity. You must be specific about what you want. The universe cannot deliver a result if you are sending out vague or conflicting signals. According to the book, you don't need to ask over and over again. You ask once, clearly and firmly, just as you would place an order from a catalog. You make the command to the universe and let it be known exactly what you intend to have or achieve. The second step is to believe. This is often the most challenging part for many people. To believe means to act, speak, and think as though you have already received what you asked for. You must have unwavering faith that the moment you asked, the thing you desired became yours in the unseen realm. The book emphasizes that you cannot have a second-guessing mind. If you ask for something but then worry about how it will happen or when it will arrive, you are actually broadcasting a frequency of not having it, which cancels out your original request. You must maintain the feeling of total certainty. The third step is to receive. This is about aligning your emotions with your desire. To receive, you must feel the way you would feel once your desire has manifested. If you want a new house, you must feel the joy, the peace, and the excitement of living in that house right now. This emotional alignment is what completes the circuit and allows the thing you want to cross from the mental world into your physical reality. This process is vital because it removes the how from your shoulders. The book explicitly states that it is not your job to figure out how the universe will provide. Your only job is to ask, believe, and receive. When you try to figure out the how, you are expressing a lack of faith, which slows down the process. Now we move to the next point, which explores the internal compass that tells you whether you are actually on the right track with your thoughts and feelings. The role of feelings and the emotional guidance system. While thoughts are the primary drivers of attraction, the book explains that your feelings are your most important tool for monitoring those thoughts. It can be difficult to track every single thought that crosses your mind in a day. There are thousands of them. However, it is very easy to check in with how you are feeling. Your feelings serve as a feedback mechanism or an emotional guidance system. Simply put, if you are feeling good, if you feel joy, love, excitement, or gratitude, you are thinking thoughts that are in alignment with your desires. You are on the right frequency to attract the things you want. If you are feeling bad, if you feel stressed, angry, guilty, or depressed, you are thinking thoughts that are out of alignment. You are currently on a frequency that will attract more of what you don't want. The book suggests that you can use secret shifters to change your state of mind quickly. These are things like a favorite song, a beautiful memory, or picturing a loved one. The moment you realize you are in a negative emotional state, you can use a shifter to pivot your mood. By intentionally moving yourself from a bad feeling to a good feeling, you literally change your magnetic broadcast in an instant. This is important because it simplifies the practice of the law of attraction. You don't have to police your mind every second. You just have to prioritize feeling good. The better you feel, the more you are in harmony with the power of the universe. For instance, if you find yourself feeling frustrated in traffic, that frustration is a signal that you are attracting more frustrating events. By choosing to listen to music you love or thinking about a happy upcoming event, you shift that feeling, and your external experience will eventually follow that shift. Now we move to the next point, where we look at one of the most powerful specific actions you can take to amplify your positive frequency: the practice of gratitude. The power of gratitude. Gratitude is described as one of the most powerful tools in the entire book for shifting your energy and bringing more of what you want into your life. The principle is straightforward. If you are grateful for what you have, you are vibrating at a high frequency of abundance, because the law of attraction responds to your frequency. Being grateful for what you currently possess naturally attracts even more things to be grateful for. The book suggests starting a gratitude journal or simply spending time every morning naming the things you are thankful for. This isn't just a polite social habit. It is a mathematical necessity for manifestation. If you focus on what you lack or complain about your current situation, you are focusing on not enough, and the law will continue to give you not enough. By shifting your focus to gratitude, you are telling the universe that you are already rich in many ways, which opens the floodgates for more blessings to arrive. The book even suggests giving thanks for the things you have asked for before they arrive, as this is the ultimate expression of faith and belief. The next layer of successfully using these principles involves a technique called visualization. The book describes visualization as the process of creating mental images of yourself enjoying what you desire. When you visualize, you are generating powerful thoughts and feelings of having the object or circumstance right now. It is a way of tricking the subconscious mind and the universe into believing that your desire is already a reality. The book emphasizes that visualization is not just about seeing a picture in your mind. It is about the feeling associated with that picture. If you are visualizing a new car, you shouldn't just look at it from the outside in your mind's eye. You should imagine yourself sitting in the driver's seat, feeling the texture of the leather steering wheel, smelling the new car scent, and hearing the sound of the engine. The more sensory details you can add, the more real the feeling becomes. According to the book, the reason visualization is so effective is that the mind cannot distinguish between a real event and one that is vividly imagined with emotion. When you visualize, you are emitting a powerful frequency into the universe. The law of attraction then takes that signal and begins to move the people, circumstances, and events necessary to bring that vision into your physical life. It is like a mental rehearsal for your future. This is important because it gives you a practical exercise to perform daily. The book suggests that even a few minutes of intense visualization can be more powerful than hours of hard work that isn't aligned with your goals. For example, a person who wants to excel in a public speaking engagement might spend time every night visualizing the audience cheering and feeling the surge of confidence in their chest. By the time the event actually happens, their mind and the universe have already paved the way for that success. Now we move to the next point, where we explore how these mental techniques can be specifically applied to one of the most sought-after areas of life, financial wealth and abundance. The secret to wealth and financial abundance. The book addresses money with a very specific philosophy. To attract money, you must focus on wealth. This sounds obvious, but the book points out that most people actually focus on the lack of money. They focus on the bills they can't pay, the debt they owe, and the fear of not having enough. As we have already discussed, focusing on not enough only attracts more not enough. To shift this, the book suggests a mental exercise of focusing on abundance regardless of your current bank balance. One of the primary techniques mentioned is the check in the mail exercise. Instead of opening your mailbox with dread, expecting bills, you should visualize yourself opening it and finding checks. You are encouraged to literally tell yourself, money comes easily and frequently. Another critical component of attracting wealth is the act of giving. The book explains that when you give money away, you are sending a powerful signal to the universe that you have more than enough. It is an act of supreme faith and a declaration of abundance. However, this only works if the giving comes from a place of joy. If you give because you feel obligated or because you feel bad, you are actually broadcasting a frequency of sacrifice and lack, which will not attract wealth. This focus on wealth is important because it challenges the common belief that money is hard to get or that there is a limited supply of it. The book teaches that the universe is infinite and that there's plenty of wealth for everyone if they can simply align their thoughts with it. For instance, if you see someone driving a luxury car, instead of feeling envious, you should feel happy for them and see it as a sign that wealth is possible for you too. By celebrating their abundance, you signal to the universe that you are ready for your own. Now we move to the next point, which shifts our focus from the external world of finances to the internal world of our personal connections and how we interact with others. The secret to harmonious relationships. When it comes to relationships, the book teaches that the law of attraction starts with the relationship you have with yourself. You cannot expect others to enjoy your company or treat you with love if you do not feel that way about yourself. If you are constantly self-critical or focused on your own flaws, you are broadcasting a frequency that tells the world you are not worthy of love and respect. The book explains that you must treat yourself with the same love and respect that you want from others. This is because you cannot give from an empty cup. If you focus on your own happiness and your own self-worth, you naturally become a magnet for people who will reflect those same qualities back to you. You are encouraged to make a list of everything you love about yourself and focus on those attributes. Furthermore, the book suggests that when you are in a relationship with someone else, you should focus on their positive traits rather than their faults. Whatever you focus on in another person, you will get more of. If you complain about your partner's messiness, you are focusing on the mess, and they will likely continue to be messy. If you focus on their kindness or their sense of humor, those qualities will expand. This concept is vital for anyone looking to improve their social or romantic life. It moves the focus away from trying to change other people, which the book says is impossible, and places the power back on your own internal state. For example, if someone feels lonely, the book would advise them to stop focusing on the void of being alone and instead focus on being the best friend to themselves first. This change in frequency is what eventually draws the right companion into their life. Now we move to the next point, where we look at the incredible influence that your thoughts have on your physical body and your overall health. The secret to health and the power of the mind. The book presents a perspective on health that emphasizes the mind's role as the primary healer. It suggests that our bodies are actually the product of our thoughts. When we have thoughts of illness, stress, or decay, our bodies respond to those signals. Conversely, when we focus on perfect health, our bodies can recover and maintain a state of well-being. The book discusses the idea that the body is constantly regenerating itself and that every cell is replaced within a few years. Therefore, you are never truly stuck with an old or a sick body unless you keep hold of the old and sick thoughts that created it. It mentions the placebo effect as a scientific bridge to this idea, showing that the simple belief that a medicine will work can often produce the same physical results as the medicine itself. A major part of the secret to health is the rejection of the idea of aging or disease as inevitable. The book suggests that by focusing on vitality and seeing yourself as youthful and strong, you can actually slow down or reverse the physical effects of time. It also highlights the importance of laughter and joy in healing. Laughter is described as a state that releases stress and aligns the body's energy with the frequency of health. This is an important concept because it offers hope and a sense of agency over one's own physical condition. While it doesn't suggest ignoring medical advice, it encourages a mental partnership with the body's natural healing processes. For example, a person recovering from an injury is encouraged to visualize themselves running and moving freely, rather than constantly talking about their pain or the limitations of their recovery. Now we move to the next point, where we step back to look at the bigger picture. How these laws affect the world at large and your specific place in the grand scheme of the universe. The secret to the world and your infinite potential. In the final sections of the book's core teachings, the focus expands to the world and your identity as a creator. The book addresses the idea of global problems, such as poverty or war, and suggests that our collective focus on these issues often perpetuates them. According to the law of attraction, when you resist something, you are actually giving it your energy and focus, which makes it persist. The book famously quotes that what you resist persists. Instead of being anti-war, the book suggests being pro-peace. This subtle shift in focus changes the frequency from one of conflict to one of harmony. It teaches that there is more than enough of everything: energy, food, money, and love for every person on the planet. The only reason there appears to be a shortage is because people are operating from a mindset of lack rather than abundance. Ultimately, the book reveals that you are much more than your physical body or your daily circumstances. You are described as a spiritual being, a piece of the divine, with the power to access the infinite mind. You are the master of your own destiny because you are the one choosing the thoughts that create your reality. There is no limit to what you can achieve, because the universe itself has no limits. This final point is crucial because it aims to empower the listener to stop looking for answers outside of themselves. It suggests that all the power, all the wisdom, and all the secrets are already within you. You are the architect of your life, and the law of attraction is the tool you use to build it. Whether you want to change your personal life or contribute to a better world, it all starts with the quality of the thoughts you choose to hold in your mind. One of the most mind-bending concepts the book introduces is the idea that time and size are essentially illusions when it comes to the law of attraction. From the perspective of the universe, there is no difference between something big and something small. Attracting a cup of coffee takes exactly the same amount of universal energy as attracting $1 million or a dream home. The reason one seems harder than the other is entirely due to our own internal resistance and the labels we place on things. We have been conditioned to believe that big things require more effort, more time, and more struggle. The book suggests that if you can shift your mindset to see big things as just as easy to attain as small things, you remove the mental blocks that slow down the manifestation process. Similarly, the book teaches that time is a human construct. The universe does not have a clock. It can deliver what you want in an instant if you are in a state of total, unwavering belief. The delay we often experience between asking and receiving is usually just the time it takes for us to get into alignment, to reach that place where we truly believe and feel as though we already have what we asked for. The moment you are a perfect vibrational match for your desire, it must manifest. This is an important realization because it encourages patience and reduces the pressure of waiting. If you understand that the universe is already working on your request, and that the size of the request doesn't matter, you can relax into a state of peace. For example, if you are manifesting a new career, instead of looking at the months it might take to find a job, you can focus on the fact that the perfect position exists right now in the unseen realm, and it is simply moving toward you as you maintain your positive focus. Now we move to the next point, which explores the most efficient way to maintain that positive focus and stay on the highest possible frequency. The ultimate shortcut, feeling joy right now. While we have discussed the importance of thoughts and visualization, the book highlights what it calls the ultimate shortcut to the secret. Focusing on your own happiness in the present moment. Instead of waiting for your desires to manifest so that you can finally feel happy, the book argues that you must feel happy first in order to make your desires manifest. Joy is described as the highest frequency of all. When you are in a state of bliss or deep appreciation, you are naturally in a state of receiving. You don't have to work as hard to monitor your thoughts or visualize your goals, because joy naturally aligns you with everything good. The book suggests that your primary mission in life should simply be to feel good. This concept is important because it takes the work out of the law of attraction. Many people approach these principles with a sense of duty or stress, trying perfectly to visualize or force a positive thought. But the book reminds us that stress is a low frequency. By prioritizing your own joy, whether that means playing with a pet, walking in nature, or laughing with a friend, you are doing the most productive thing possible for your future. For instance, if you are struggling to manifest a specific goal, the book's advice would be to stop obsessing over the goal and instead find something, anything, that makes you feel genuinely happy right now. That shift in mood creates a vacuum that draws your desires toward you much faster than focused, but stressful, mental effort ever could. Now we move to the next point, where we look at how to handle the noise of the world and the negative thoughts that inevitably try to creep in. Awareness and the mastery of thought. A common concern for many people starting this journey is the fear of their own negative thoughts. We all have moments of doubt, anger, or worry, and it can be scary to think that these moments are immediately ruining our lives. However, the book offers a very comforting perspective on this. A positive thought is hundreds of times more powerful than a negative one. You do not need to be perfect. You just need to be aware. The book emphasizes the importance of becoming an observer of your own mind. Most people live their lives on autopilot, reacting to every external event with whatever thought pops into their head. By practicing awareness, you can catch a negative thought as it arises and say, "I am not going to finish that thought." You can then intentionally replace it with something better. The goal is not to suppress negativity, but to consciously choose not to dwell on it. The book suggests that the more you practice this awareness, the more you strengthen your thought muscles. Over time, it becomes easier to stay on a positive track, and the negative thoughts begin to lose their power and frequency. This is vital for long-term success because it builds mental resilience. It teaches you that you are the master of your mind, not its servant. For example, if you hear a piece of bad news on the television, awareness allows you to acknowledge the information without letting it take root in your emotional state. You can acknowledge it and then quickly pivot back to the things that bring you peace and stability. Now we move to the next point, which clarifies a common misunderstanding: the role of action in the manifestation process. The concept of inspired action. There's a frequent misconception that the law of attraction is about sitting on a couch and waiting for things to fall out of the sky. The book clarifies this by introducing the idea of inspired action. While your thoughts and feelings set the wheels of motion, the universe will often provide you with nudges or intuitive hits to take a specific step. The difference between hard work and inspired action is the feeling behind it. Hard work often feels like a struggle, like you are pushing against the grain to make something happen. Inspired action, on the other hand, feels effortless and exciting. It's that sudden urge to call a specific person, to take a different route home, or to look into a specific book. When you follow these impulses, You are moving in harmony with the universe. According to the book, the universe will provide the path of least resistance. Your job is to stay open and ready to act when that path opens up. If you are in alignment, you won't have to try to make things happen. You will find yourself carried toward your goal by a series of coincidences and opportunities that feel perfectly timed. This is an important distinction because it balances the mental work with the physical world. It encourages you to trust your intuition. For instance, if you have been manifesting a new business opportunity, you might suddenly feel a strong desire to go to a certain coffee shop. While there, you might accidentally meet someone who becomes your future business partner. That is inspired action, the universe creating the meeting, and you having the intuition to show up. Now we move to the next point, where we delve into the history of these ideas and why they were kept secret for so long. The legacy of the secret through history. The book doesn't claim to be teaching something brand new. In fact, it explains that this knowledge has been around since the beginning of time. Throughout history, there have been individuals who understood these laws and used them to achieve extraordinary things. These were the greats, the leaders, inventors, philosophers, and artists who shaped our civilization. Rhonda Byrne points out that many of the most successful people in history were aware of the law of attraction, even if they didn't call it by that name. Their writings, their speeches, and their lives are filled with clues about the power of the mind and the importance of focus. However, for a long time, this knowledge was closely guarded. It was held by a small number of people who understood that it gave them an incredible advantage. The book suggests that in the past, the secret was often hidden or suppressed because those in power didn't want the masses to realize their own creative potential. If everyone knew they could create their own reality through their thoughts, the old systems of control would lose their influence. We are now living in an era where this information is being democratized, allowing anyone, regardless of their background, to tap into the same power that built empires. This historical context is important because it lends a sense of weight and validity to the practice. It's not just a modern self-help trend. It is an ancient truth that has been validated by the lives of people like Plato, Leonardo da Vinci, and Albert Einstein. Knowing that you are using the same principles as the greatest minds in history can give you a deeper sense of confidence as you apply these lessons to your own life. Now we move to the next point, which discusses the specific way we should view our own identity in relation to the universe. The secret to you. You are an infinite being. A major theme in the latter half of the book is the shift from seeing yourself as a small, limited human to seeing yourself as an infinite spiritual being. The book explains that you are not just a physical body navigating a physical world. You are energy, and energy cannot be created or destroyed. It only changes form. Therefore, you are eternal. This perspective is designed to remove the fear of lack and the fear of death. When you realize that you are an extension of the one universal mind, you understand that you have access to all knowledge, all power, and all possibility. You are a co-creator with the universe. The book uses the metaphor of a drop of water in the ocean. You are the drop, but you are also the entire ocean. By identifying with your infinite self, rather than your ego self, you stop being bothered by the small stresses of daily life. You realize that your potential is literally limitless. The only things that can stop you are the limits you place on yourself through your own thoughts. If you believe you are limited, you will be. If you believe you are an infinite creator, you will begin to experience the world as a place of infinite opportunity. This is a powerful concept for self-esteem and personal growth. It encourages you to stop looking for permission from others and to start looking within for your own authority. For example, instead of saying, "I can't do this because I don't have the education," the infinite being says, "The knowledge I need is available to me, and I will attract the resources to learn what I need to know." Now we move to the next point, where we explore the concept of the secret to life and how to find your true purpose. The secret to life, writing on your own slate. As we reach the conclusion of the core principles, the book addresses the question that many people ask: what is my purpose? What am I supposed to do with my life? The answer provided by the law of attraction is both liberating and profound. Your life has no pre-written purpose other than the one you choose to give it. The book describes your life as a blank slate. There's no destiny written in the stars that you have to figure out or fear missing. You are the author of your own story. Your purpose is whatever you decide it is. If your purpose is to be a loving parent, then that is your purpose. If it is to build a successful company or to travel the world, then that is your purpose. This idea removes the burden of searching for a hidden meaning and replaces it with the freedom of creation. You are encouraged to fill your life with things that make you feel good and that bring you joy. According to the book, by following your bliss, you are naturally fulfilling the highest possible purpose for your existence. When you are happy and in alignment, you are contributing positive energy to the collective consciousness of the world. This is important because it simplifies the search for meaning. It tells you that you don't have to look outside yourself for a calling. Your calling is simply to be yourself and to create a life that you love. For instance, if someone feels lost in their career, the book would advise them to stop worrying about what they should do and instead start doing more of what they love to do, trusting that the law of attraction will expand those moments into a full and meaningful life path. As we come to the end of our exploration of these profound principles, it is important to take a moment to reflect on the transformation that has occurred in your understanding of the world. Throughout this journey into the insights shared by Rhonda Byrne, we have moved from the idea of being a spectator in life to recognizing ourselves as the primary architect of our reality. The secret is not a fleeting tool or a temporary fix. It is a fundamental law of the universe that is as constant and unwavering as the law of gravity. The most vital takeaway is the realization that your power lies in the present moment. Your past, no matter what it may have looked like, has no power over you unless you continue to give it your attention and frequency today. By choosing to shift your focus toward gratitude, abundance, and joy, you effectively begin a new story on a clean slate. You are now equipped with the understanding that your thoughts are magnetic and that your feelings are the most reliable compass you possess for navigating your life's path. Remember that the process of asking, believing, and receiving is a continuous cycle. The universe is infinite, and its capacity to provide for you is limited only by the boundaries you place on your own imagination. As we mentioned earlier, the size of your request or the time it takes to manifest is merely a reflection of your own alignment. When you live in a state of feeling good, you remove the resistance that holds your desires at a distance. You become a literal magnet for everything that is in harmony with your joy. Mastering this way of living requires practice and awareness, but the rewards are as limitless as the universe itself. You are a spiritual, infinite being, and you have been given the keys to a kingdom of your own creation. There is no need for struggle, for competition, or for fear of lack. There is enough for everyone, and your success does not take away from others. Rather, it adds to the collective beauty and abundance of the world. As you step back into your daily life, do so with the quiet confidence of someone who knows how the world truly works. Trust your intuition, follow your inspired action, and above all, prioritize your own happiness. Your purpose is to be the best, most joyful version of yourself, and by doing so, you fulfill the highest potential of your existence. The secret is now yours to use, and your best life is already waiting for you to claim it.